So thank you for joining us. It's
Thanks for having me.
a pleasure to have you on stage. I guess before we start, do you want to just give everyone a brief introduction as to your role with Akyta and also with what it was at Trust Energy when you first came on?
Yeah, so I work for a company called Akyta, and Akyta is a sister company of Trust Energy. We deal with the back office operations for Trust Energy, as well as other retail energy companies in the marketplace. And as the innovation director, I focus on making sure that all the operational processes and technology that drives these businesses are up to date and we're running as efficiently as possible, because these clients of ours, they're trusting us to run their businesses in the most cost-effective way. So that's why I exist, and to do this thing, right?
I'm sure there's other reasons why it exists, but yes, that's good. So let's take it back. When was eMite actually put into the trust? Was it a couple of years ago?
Yeah, so we installed Pure Cloud about 2 years ago, and if you guys use Pure Cloud out there, one of the big gaps is reporting, right? And we noticed that. I mean, from day one, we realized that it's just not cutting it. So eMite was a partner that was recommended to us, and we decided to give it a go. And I think we were one of the first Pure Cloud eMite customers. And I mean, it's been a great experience. It's been one of those tools where I've worked with so many BI tools in my lifetime that I can confidently say this is the most easy BI tool that I've used out of the box anyway. So that's been my experience.
So maybe let's go back 2 years ago when you were making these decisions. Do you actually go out to market and have a look at other solutions out there at the time, or did you just go with eMite straight away?
Well, I think it's the build or buy discussion.
Yeah.
We had a lot of conversations internally about, can we just do this in-house? Because we have developers. Akyta actually is a software development company too. And we had database developers, and we could do a lot of cool things with Tableau, but ultimately it came down to, do we really want to put our effort towards that, or build other things and do other things that we're really good at? And you know, when we found eMite, I mean, they just had everything done, right? I mean, it just works, so might as well, right? I think the question you always ask is, how much is it going to cost for us to develop, and versus just buying something that's, by the way, fully managed, and you guys are upgrading all the time. So for us, the decision was pretty easy, and it was a pretty easy sell to actually our leadership team too.
It's quite interesting, because when I heard that we were going to get you on stage today, I reached out to the team at eMite and I said, okay, what information do we have on these guys in Trust Energy? What dashboards have we built for them? What have we customized? And the response I got back, I think it was from our CTO, Matt. He said to me, Stephen, we really haven't done much for these guys. They have taken the solution, they have just run with it. Like, from our perspective, we've supported you whenever you needed us, and we've actually helped you with one dashboard, I think, but that's about it. Is that true?
Yeah, I was telling Stephen yesterday when I saw him, you guys ripped me off, because when we first got eMite, we didn't really get anything. We had to build everything from scratch. And I mean, to Matthew's credit, Matthew, their CTO, right?
CTO now, yeah.
He was very helpful, making sure that we can create the dashboards. But we didn't really get anything, and I found out now that you guys have like 20 out-of-the-box dashboards and all sorts of cool toys that we don't have. But in the end, though, I mean, we were self-sufficient. We created great dashboards that worked for our business. It didn't take like a genius report writer either. It was just business users and just average guys like me going in there and just creating reports. And I think you have some examples of what we use, but they look great. I mean, they just look fantastic. So we've been really happy about that.
Yeah, so we're going to get to some of the examples a bit later. Just firstly, do you have a big, massive team in the organization supporting the dashboard creation? Like, are they data scientists, or are they actual IT-related tasks, or who do you have actually supporting us?
They're just the business users, right? Yeah, we have guys that have a brain, right? I mean, these are drag and drop type of dashboards that you're creating, and it just makes sense, right? Everything just kind of makes sense when you're navigating and you're creating a report. So we don't have any dedicated people working on it. In fact, our BI team is busy doing their own Tableau development and stuff. So this gets, at least the contact center organization, some freedom around what kind of data they can consume out of Pure Cloud, which you know, if you ever work with like their APIs and stuff, which they feel like it's the most amazing thing in the world, it's a really difficult piece of the software that you have to work with. So having this freedom is just, it's so incredible.
Yeah, that's what we've experienced as well. The Genesys APIs, they change quite often as well, and you normally don't get that forward notification that they're going to change too. So it's quite a benefit that I think eMite gives to our customers in managing that from our perspective, and enabling the reporting still to continue after that. Let's actually have a look at some of the dashboards which we created for, or you guys created yourself actually. This was one of the ones which Steve sent through, and she said it was one of the main ones which he actually uses in the contact center. It's a real-time dashboard. Do you want to just talk through this one and what the key aspects of it, which you guys use?
Yeah, so this is actually our wall board. That dummy data. We don't actually have queues called Venezuelan, whatever. Yeah, we don't have those queues, but essentially these are the queues that we're constantly managing for that particular business unit. And the important things that we're looking for is service levels, right? We're a client servicing organization, so we want to make sure that our service levels are always maintained. And as the numbers go up and down, we'll see some color indications, whether or not it's in a healthy state or perhaps even like overstaffed, right? If our service levels are like at 99%, maybe we should send a few people home to save some money, right? On the right corner, so right top corner, this is what I was really excited about being able to use eMite for. We can't get this data out of Pure Cloud, and this is using disposition data where our sales agents are on the phone and in real-time basis they're doing dispositions on Pure Cloud saying, I got a sale on a specific type of product category. And in real time on screen I can see that this particular agent was able to sell this product, which gives us really good pulse on how the sales organization is performing for that day. And on the bottom right, that's another kind of indication of the health of our sales organization. So we do some verification services where our field sales agents are calling in and trying to validate their sales, third-party verifications. And through these gauges and this wall board, we're able to get like an instant pulse on how that field sales team is doing, all in the comfort of just an office setting. So this wall board is being used by call center agents to supervisors, managers, all the way up to the CEO level. And I mean, it's tremendous value to be able to get real-time insight into how the business is performing.
Yeah. So it's a good point you raised. This is all dummy data. This is not actual and Trust Energy's data. Steve said if we wanted to show the dashboards, we have to get every one of you to sign NDAs. And I was thinking about putting some paper and pen under all your seats, but obviously that wouldn't work out. So that is one of the dashboards. I'm going to go to the next one. This is a skills-based dashboard, which I think one of our guys, Matt, helped you out with for particular use cases. Do you want to explain that one?
So like I said, I mean, some of the stuff is, it's not straightforward on how to create it, but their support team has been pretty good about at least guiding us on how to get to certain types of reports like this. And so skill-based reporting, again, this is really difficult to get out of Pure Cloud right now, but I think we can set this report up or something similar within about 5 minutes and get the insight that we want. Earlier today, we had our CEO talking about business continuity plans in a different session, and it's like this data that helps us to kind of evaluate which agents can kind of fill in the roles of agents that maybe are affected by hurricanes or whatever. It's critical data, but unfortunately it's just not readily available right now through Pure Cloud, right? So again, I mean, tremendous value to be able to get this through this platform.
Yeah, it's amazing how you can see the trend of the skills over time. You can see one's particularly going quite high. But it's very interesting stuff. Let's go to the next one. This one interests me quite a lot. I'm not sure if I talked to you about this, Steve, but this is showing all of your queues in a list, basically, with all their sort of rate of service, average speed of onset, everything compared on a 13-month basis. You can go back as much as you want. Pretty cool just to see that side by side.
Yeah, so like product management for Genesys, they think that they can create like this magic bullet reporting platform where you'll never have to use Excel, right? But the reality is we all have to use Excel, PowerPoint. I mean, that's kind of our preferred way to report to our bosses. And to do that effectively, you have to create the pretty charts and whatnot. To do that, you need this type of data. Well, again, it's difficult to have any, I mean, it's not just pure cloud or anything like that, it's just across all different softwares. It's really hard to manipulate data to the exact format you need so that it plays nicely with Excel. But by laying out data like this, it's exactly how we want it. We just kind of press export every month when it auto-generates, and the analyst has to spend like less than a minute to formulate the data and dump it into a PowerPoint slide. And that, to us, is how we save money for our clients, right? Just making sure that everything's so efficient. And this tool really does help us do that.
Yeah, it's a good point. These look like just Excel sort of sheets, but you can export using this function off the web-based interfaces, and with one click of the button, you can change those to graphs and see trends over time as well. So within the same sort of dashboard view, you can play with the dashboards and data blocks and see what you want to see, which is pretty cool. So those are just 3 examples which we pulled from the platform, but I saw 20, 30 different dashboards which you guys are working on. There seems to be a lot of stuff that you're playing with to make sure that your contact center is running the best it can be.
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of different business units, right? We have the sales teams to people that are just taking payments over the phone. Every team needs their own different set of data, right? And they also want to see how their agent's performing. So each supervisor wants to create their own dashboard. And these are call center supervisors who do not have traditional training on BI tools or anything like that, but they know how to click buttons on a screen. So if they can do it, I mean, I think that just kind of shows you how easy it could be to create different dashboards on this thing.
Yeah, about the training, like, what's been your experience with having new users just have a look at the eMite sort of interface and how they go about it? Is it intuitive? Do they pick it up quite quickly? Do they need someone to spend a few hours or days with them training them how to use it?
I mean, it's not like an iPhone interface or anything. I mean, it's an enterprise reporting platform, right? So you still have to kind of go through and explain how things work, the concept of things like data dimensions, what that is. Again, I mean, it is a reporting platform, so I think you do have to kind of at least explain how to get to certain things, but once you explain how to arrive at certain data points, people can typically kind of figure it out themselves. I think a lot of time that people spend are just putting colors to different numbers and formatting so that they can consume it on a daily basis. That's what they use it for.
How important is the styling for your business, like to make the dashboards look appealing, to make them look visually nice? Is that important to drive sort of initiatives in the contact center?
I think so. I think everybody likes looking at pretty things, right? And prettier it is, the more forgiving it is that maybe that data isn't as good, but that's not the case. I mean, the data's been great and it looks great, so when our clients walk through our call center floor and they see the wallboards, they look at something and say, wow, that looks spectacular. I love that it reflects our performance as an organization. And I put a lot of value in it.
From an implementation perspective, when this was rolled out 2 years ago, whenever it was, how did that go for you? Was it a good experience? Any comments?
I think we signed a contract, and I think within 24 hours, it was all set up, the data connectors were all set up, and we were given the keys to kind of create those dashboards. It was pretty easy. I remember it being really easy. I was one of the first people to actually set it up, so there was really no challenges.
And from a KPI perspective, so your contact center obviously has key performance indicators which you run against or trust contact center. Is it just the typical ones, like average handle time and average speed of answer, or do you have more advanced KPIs which you guys use as well?
So is it true these metrics are like old, or what did that guy say, the CEO of Genesys, antiquated or something?
I'm not saying that they are, but I'm just asking, what does Entrust Energy?
Well, I mean, so we service clients, and still the call center still runs on things like SLAs and average handle time.
Yeah.
So even though Genesys says these metrics are not good, we still report on it, right? And we're probably going to use it forever unless something else comes up that reflects the performance of the business a little bit better. So yeah, I mean, we average handle time, average speed of answer, abandonment rate, everything applies here. But ultimately, I think we find a lot of value in things like tracking the dispositions of the calls right? Being able to show that on screen, because that is, again, something that we're not able to do through PureCloud right now.
Yeah, okay, very good. I guess, Steve, is there anything else that you want to share from your experience with eMite? I know you said a lot of great stuff already, but any other guidance that you would give to someone else who's looking for a reporting solution at the moment, and they're tossing up between doing it themselves or looking over BI tools or potentially going with eMite? What would you say to them?
Well, I'm not being paid to do this. They haven't even bought me lunch. I mean, they haven't really done anything for me, but I really do think this, I haven't been frying. But no, I mean, I truly think it is a good product. I do a lot of reference calls for Genesys as well, and when their potential customers ask about reporting, I'm very straight up saying, you know, PureCloud reporting is a weak point, and all their sales guys will talk about that too openly. And I recommend, you know, when we use eMite, to be honest with you, we actually use Pure Insights as well. I mean, we're kind of a dual shop here, and we use both, and they both have their strengths. But ultimately, eMite is a great platform that's very well polished, and it's a core part of our business right now. So I'm very happy with it, and that's why I agreed to talk. I'm glad the room is smaller than that keynote thing, so it's an easy talk. So, yeah, I think it sells itself. I don't know. It's been pretty good.
I think so too. I think there's this gap in the market at the moment with a lot of these Genesys contact center solutions where, for Genesys, it's not their core focus, and obviously there's people like eMite and others who are coming and filling that gap and that need, which is great.
Yeah.
But it's been a pleasure having you on stage, Steve, and sharing the story about how eMite was implemented in Trust. I think it's a great use case or example of how a customer's just taken the solution, run with it, and not had to even have much contact with the vendor ourselves, which is perfect. So thank you very much, Steve. I'm going to go back to you, Steve.